Good morning. Obama's cabinet seats are filling up as the president-elect continues to appoint members to his inner circle. Also, a rivalry between the Sioux Falls colleges gets colorful. We'll give you a full report on these stories and many more coming up next on College Week.
From the Jeske Fine Arts Center on the campus of the University of Sioux Falls, this is College Week. With Daniel Hodges, Aaron Heinert, and Jerry Coxwell Sports.
Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Jake Iverson, sitting in for Daniel Hodges.
And I'm Aaron Heinert. President-elect Barack Obama has already begun putting the right people in place before he is sworn into office in January. Obama says he plans to appoint at least one Republican to his cabinet, following the footsteps of the 16th United States President, Abraham Lincoln. It was also recently announced that former South Dakota Senator and United States Senate Majority Leader Tom Daschle has accepted the position of Secretary of Health and Human Services. With this position, Daschle has his hands full as he becomes the leader of efforts to overhaul the country's healthcare delivery and insurance systems. The most speculated appointment yet to be decided is Senator Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State, the highest-ranked position in the presidential cabinet. This possible appointment has received backing from both Democrats and a few prominent Republicans, such as Henry Kissinger and Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. If Senator Clinton accepts this position, the announcement could be made at any time.
Wednesday morning, USF students awoke to find that students from Augustana College had vandalized the Cougar statue. Let's go to some pictures. Throughout the evening and early morning, the Cougar had been doused with corn syrup along with blue and yellow tissue paper. In true payback spirit and a similar showcase of school pride, USF students marched across the Augie campus shouting USF and JV football. Both demonstrations were in clear relation to Wednesday evening's basketball game between the two schools. Well, looks like the game is on now.
In this week's edition of College Week Investigates, Jake Iverson takes us downtown and shows us the confusing aspects of the city's traffic lights.
Every day, thousands of cars travel through the intersection of Minnesota Avenue and 10th Street. And of those cars, an unlucky few will receive this in the mail: a ticket from the city for breaking a confusing ordinance. Surrounding the intersection, poised like sentinels, are 4 cameras triggered by sensors to flash when the red light is on. These cameras act as Sioux Falls RoboCops, bringing in more tickets daily than an actual police officer. According to the city council, this intersection was chosen for the cameras because of the high vehicle and foot traffic rate. In the past, there was a fatality and several near accidents, prompting the need for more safety. The city purchased the system from Redflex, an independent business that receives a portion of the money from each ticket. For this reason alone, some motorists are not too happy with the city. One such citizen is I.L. Wiederman, who is scheduled to take the city to court in January, citing cases from other states where similar systems were in place. Cities banning the cameras span from San Jose to Atlanta, but also as close to Sioux Falls as Minneapolis. Wiederman states that the city has created a confusing situation and has a system set up to reap the benefits. Mayor Dave Munson is aware that the system does bring in money to the city, but that is not the complete intention.
Hopefully all those things, what we're trying to do with all this is really, we want drivers to be safe and to be courteous and to make sure that we're not hitting people on the intersection. That intersection has had so many close calls up there that's we just don't want that to happen, so we're trying to prevent that.
Knudsen shares the mayor's safety concerns with Minnesota and 10th, but also expresses a wish for the system to expand to other intersections.
And if in fact money was no factor, is that there would be several of us, probably more than half of us, that would probably vote in an instant for similar cameras at several other very, very busy intersections. It's just that there is not the money in the budget to do so.
Councilman Kermit Staggers has been against the photo system ever since its installation, stating that they are extremely confusing to the motorist and that it is simply used as a way to generate money for the city. He also points out that most of the tickets involved are for making that right turn on red. There's still plenty of discussion to be had about whether or not to remove the photo monitoring system, but for now, drivers must obey the established ordinance. For USF College Week, I'm Jake Iverson.
Coming up, another organization is beginning their attempt to start a new band in South Dakota. Don't go away.
Welcome back. As the snowfall increases, so does one's chances of getting sick. Aaron Heinert shows us how one shot may make a difference.
With the winter months comes snow, high winds, and the flu. Judy Vogt, a triage nurse at the Center for Family Medicine, states that getting the flu can be an uncomfortable experience.
The influenza is more of a cough and a headache and generally feeling just really, really bad all over. And you can get a fever with it, and it can last, up to 3 weeks.
With 22 flu-related deaths in South Dakota alone last year, it's now more important than ever to take the necessary precautions in order to prevent the influenza virus.
The best thing that you can do for influenza is, of course, to get the influenza vaccine every year. And the other thing to do is to use good hand washing and to, always make sure you kind of cough into your elbow and not your hand, because of course when you touch and get the virus on your hand, then you touch your face and that's how you spread it.
Despite constant warnings, however, many college-age students still do not feel the need to get vaccinated for this potentially life-threatening illness.
Well, I don't think I need one, I guess. And I don't want to pay for it either.
I'm really afraid of needles. Because they work every time they give me the flu.
Because I am healthy.
Vogt believes that the reason for this is that many students are simply scared of the needle.
I just think they're probably, nervous about getting a shot. And it's a lot better than getting the influenza and being sick during midterms or finals, or even on vacation after you get home. So in many ways, it's just a lot easier to get that shot that probably takes 10 seconds than it is to end up with the influenza that, you'll be sick with for a long time.
For College Week, I'm Erin Heinert. The South Dakota Tobacco-Free Kids Network has launched a campaign in Pierre. Their plan is simple: ban smoking in all public places, including bars and even hotel rooms. College Week's Ryan Gage takes a fresh breath into this sticky situation.
Lobbyists are busy trying to clear way for clean nostrils. A cigarette ban is less controversial than some actions South Dakota has attempted lately, but may ultimately burn some businesses to the ground. Richard Wolf, a smoker, understands the attempt.
Well, it kind of sucks, but in a sense it makes sense. There's a lot of people that don't smoke.
Nutty's North manager Jamie Weekman said he knows over 100 local bars in Minnesota bolted shut after the cigarette ban. Weekman is concerned for those smaller, less established bars around the area, although he doesn't think Nutty's will have much of a problem. Augustana graduate Andrew Knaflicek believes the government should stay away from certain business decisions.
I think that you don't really need to make people's decisions for them. You should probably allow them to have smoking bars and non-smoking bars.
Jerry Hawk owns Monk's, a smoke-free bar. He is not afraid of the potential ban or its effects.
I've never been concerned about losing business as a smoke-free environment. In fact, I would say at least 3 or 4 times a week somebody thanks me for having no smoking in here. The other thing is, you have to be an idiot not to realize that this is the way things are going. The surrounding states, Minnesota's already done it. I don't know if Iowa and Nebraska, I'm not sure where they are on it, but individual cities have certainly done it, and it's inevitable. So why not be ahead of the curve instead of being forced and drugged into it?
One employee of cigar bar Stogie's hopes such specialty bars will be grandfathered into the legislation. While most South Dakotans agree smoke-free would be nice, you may want to consider your favorite hangout could be a distant memory. Jennifer Stolley, smoke-free South Dakota's media manager, was not available for comment. For USF College Week, I'm Ryan Gage.
Currently, 23 states have bans on tobacco, including 3 South Dakota neighbors: Iowa, Nebraska, and Montana.
When Cosmopolitan's November issue hit the stands, you may have recognized a face among the pages. College Week's Ben Olson tells us more.
Cosmopolitan is a magazine read by millions around the globe. The November issue featured an article naming America's most eligible bachelors. Among the faces is USF's own Lavelle Jackson.
I found out that I was involved when they gave me a call, I think around late April, early May, to let me know that I had been selected.
Lavelle's sister LaShawna nominated him by sending Cosmo a letter along with a recent photo.
When I got there, I got a chance to, you know, see the scenery for a little bit. Then after I seen the scenery, it was just straight work from there. The photo shoots and everything of that nature, it just took its course.
You know, I suppose if it couldn't be me, at least it was somebody else from USF. I don't know. It doesn't help, though, to have to, you know, see him around and just remind me of my own shortcomings.
Colorado won, you know, congratulations. My boy Brad, he's a well-deserving guy. He actually donated all his winnings to a charity that he started for kids, you know, less fortunate with cancer, you know, for adventures and stuff.
USF student and Cosmo reader Brittany Palmer expresses her thoughts.
I thought it was crazy. It's weird to see someone from our school, let alone South Dakota, in the magazine.
I don't think this experience is gonna necessarily change my life, but I do believe that, you know, it has expanded me and made me into the public eye more.
Definitely, it's very exciting when I walk around campus and he says hi, and I'm like, that's Mr. South Dakota.
He's a cool guy. Yeah, he's a cool guy. Definitely. I voted for him.
For USF's College Week, this is Ben Olson.
While the Bachelor's issue is no longer in stores, you can find out all about Lavelle on Cosmo's website. And coming up next on College Week, Taylor Kelmus sits down with USF Green Club founder Kyle Staggers on Crosstalk.
Hi, welcome to Crosstalk. I'm Taylor Kelmus, and today I'm sitting down with Kyle Staggers. How's it doing, Kyle?
It's good to be here.
All right. Well, Kyle is a part of a campus group called USF Green. Why don't you just go ahead and tell us a little bit about USF Green?
USF Green was a student club established to kind of promote not necessarily environmentalism, but just kind of this maintenance of resources and that sort of thing.
Okay. When did this all start?
It kind of got its roots as an idea last semester, spring of 2008, and really I only had enough time to kind of figure out who the major people within the group were going to be, the kind of founding members. And so I figured those people out, and this semester is when we really implemented it. We got student association support and kind of got a lot of other people involved. So I think it's really kind of taken off this semester.
Okay, you said there were some other key players. Who are they?
Myself, Dan Hodges, Amanda Bohr, Liberty Ferguson, and our faculty advisor is Nancy Olive.
Okay, so USF Green, what is its main objective?
Our main objective this semester, and it's likely to change as it needs to, is to basically kind of promote awareness throughout campus of just kind of little things you can do to help kind of protect our resources. I think there's kind of the stigma of environmentalism being this huge lifestyle change where you can't drive your car anymore and you can't shower for more than 5 minutes and you have to turn the water off and that sort of thing. But I think a lot of it is just kind of little things that you can do every day, and if everyone does just little things, I think it makes a bigger difference than anything else.
So, can you give us a couple examples of just some of those small things that we can maybe be doing?
Little things like just turning off the lights when you leave a room, or turning off the TV and just not leaving things running when you're not in the room, because it's kind of unnecessary, obviously. Obviously, if you can take shorter showers, that's great, but I mean, you don't have to necessarily limit it to 5 minutes like the rule is. I think it's just being conscious of what you're using and realizing that everything you use actually does have an effect and does come from somewhere.
Okay. Could you just tell us a little bit about how you're promoting this to the students?
We're doing a little bit of emailing. I'm sure some people on campus have gotten emails saying, hey, we're having a meeting. Otherwise, a lot of it is word of mouth, and basically people who have become involved or are in the group, so like the 5 core members and a couple of the other members that we have, kind of going out and just telling their friends about it and getting them kind of interested, because there definitely is an interest there. I've found that out over the course of trying to find people who are interested.
Very interesting. So how's the campus been responding to this?
I'd say it's pretty positive, actually, which kind of surprised me, to be honest. There's lots of faculty support. We've got 3 or 4 professors who have been attending meetings and bring along a lot of great ideas. and they have they have know-how of what's kind of going on in terms of campus activities, and so they come to me and they're like, hey, I have this campus activity that's going on. Would USF Green like to be a part of it? I feel like it's really relevant to their interests.
Okay. So could you just give us a little bit of your opinion on why it's important to be an environmentalist?
I think environmentalism isn't necessarily just about the environment. Everything we do and the resources we use have an impact worldwide, and so I think it's not about global warming. I think whether or not global warming exists or some sort of greater catastrophe like that would happen, I think it's about just effectively using the resources that we have and realizing that what we use and what we do has a repercussion across the globe.
Do you believe in global warming?
That's a tricky question. I don't know if it's really possible to answer if that exists or not, but kind of like I said, I think whether or not it exists, does that change the way that we're supposed to be using our natural resources?
Exactly. So if anybody wants to get a hold of USF Green, how should they do so?
They can either email me directly at the school email, or we have a group email, usfgreen@usiufalls.edu.
Okay. All right, well, thanks a lot for coming in today, Kyle, and for USF College Week, back to the studio.
It's now time for sports. Here's College Week sports reporter Jerry Coxwell.
All right, Jerry, looks like the Cougar football is getting ready for playoffs.
Yeah, it's getting pretty exciting out there. Oh, we'll start with basketball. Last Friday, the USF women's basketball team traveled to Omaha, Nebraska, and came away with an 83-75 victory over the College of St. Mary, improving their record to 4-2 on the season. It was a great night offensively for the Cougars as they shot 43% from the floor, along with 10 three-pointers made. Jamie Hofer paced the Cougars, scoring a game-high 21 points, while Elizabeth Betsy Hildreth put in 18, and Tulsa Boxa added 15. For the Flames, Tara Moyer scored 20, while Nihawk Duop added 18. Next up for the Cougar women is a road test against the University of Minnesota Morris. Tip-off is set for today, November 22nd at 3 p.m. in Morris, Minnesota. And now to football. In a game that lived up to all the hype, the number 2 ranked USF football team upended number 4 ranked Morningside College 34-31 on November 15th in Sioux Falls. It was a great game for the Cougars, rushing for 314 yards on 62 carries while holding the ball for over 41 minutes, including the final 9. Lorenzo Brown had a terrific game for the Cougars, amassing 304 all-purpose yards, 152 rushing, 152 passing, along with 2 rushing touchdowns. Ian Gilworth, the top-rated passer in the GPAC, threw for 100 yards even and 2 touchdowns for the Mustangs. It was a back-and-forth contest as both teams traded the lead 5 times. Next up for the Cougars is the first round of the NAIA playoffs, a home match against St. Ambrose University from Davenport, Iowa. Kickoff is set for today, November 22nd at noon. And that's sports for today.
All right. It looks like it's going to be a great game, too.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Not a bad team.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thanks, Jerry.
Yep.
Now it's time for Movie Moment. Here are College Week's resident movie critics, Jordan Erickson and Ronnie Hawkins, with a review of the new James Bond movie, Quantum of Solace.
Hello, I'm Hawkins, Ronnie Hawkins.
And I'm Erickson, Jordan Erickson.
And today we are reviewing Quantum of Solace. It's the new 007 flick.
It's rated PG-13 for action violence, and it stars Daniel Craig and Olga Kurylenko. The new Bond film finds the title character seeking revenge against the secret organization that wronged him in the previous film. He's pitted against a new villain who's using environmental causes to further the world domination of his organization named Quantum. Accompanied by another agent, played by newcomer Olga Kurylenko, Bond delves deeper and deeper into his revenge mission, even against the wishes of MI6.
To sum up the new Bond film in one word, I'd have to say amazing. It's chock full with what you would expect out of a typical Bond film. Car chases, boat chases, Bond going after the ladies, and plenty of big explosions that left me shaken and not stirred in the theaters. Of course, Daniel Craig is an amazing James Bond. I think he is a step up from Pierce Brosnan. I didn't really like Pierce Brosnan too much. I don't know why. But I still think he's behind Roger Moore and Sean Connery, but I still think he's an excellent Bond. But anyways, the movie had lots of action, and it was played out really well. It's kind of goes away from a typical Bond movie where as he's kind of seeking revenge, or he has this kind of hidden anger throughout the whole film that kind of stops it from being what you would call a typical Bond film. So other than that, I thought the movie was absolutely great. So, Agent Erickson, what did you think?
I liked it. It's a good Bond movie for people who haven't seen a lot of Bond movies before.
Ooh, really?
I haven't seen a lot of the old, Sean Connery, those type of old Bond movies, and so this is cool. It's a very modern take on Bond. This specific movie is a little hard to get into emotionally because Bond's just so driven by revenge in this one. In the last one, there was kind of a little bit more of a love story, and you can connect with the characters. But in this one, he's just really angry Bond, and he just goes in and just kills a lot of people and goes crazy. But other than that, it is good. I would have to give it 4 stars. It was a solid Bond movie.
I'm going to agree with you. It did have a little bit different of a tone than what you would call a normal Bond movie. But other than that, I think it was still a pretty good movie, pretty good Bond movie. I think it'll be one that we look forward to for a long time. So I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. So we'll trade reviews from last week.
All right, well, back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, guys. Earlier this week, several students took part in a special tournament. With more on the story, here's Nick Poppins.
Inky, Pinky, Blinky, and Clyde were back in action Tuesday night as the 4th annual Pac-Man tournament was held in the Mary Collier Baker dormitory. The tournament is the brainchild of alumnus Adam Seith, who explains how the insanity began.
Well, geez, man, Burgess Hall, playing Pac-Man, just, doing what we do. And, we just got a bunch of guys together, and we thought of an idea, hey, we should throw a tournament together. And I grabbed, we asked a bunch of people, and we ended up pulling off 21 people. So we threw a tournament together, and then the second year, people just wanted it again, so just threw it down.
Not only did this year's event see another huge student turnout, but it was also utilized as a fundraising tool to help support the Casas por Cristo. Resident Director Rebecca Mearman explains more.
Well, when Laura Lee Grimius heard about that we're doing the Pac-Man tournament again, she thought it would be a good idea to maybe use it as a fundraiser for Casas por Cristo. So she talked to Alex and I, and Alex's idea was to do concessions because he knew that people would be here for a while and we get hungry and we like good yummy things to eat. So Kaya Mogan and Karen Sumner and I got all these goodies, and so we're hoping to make some money for Casas por Cristo.
Adam Seif was not just the tournament's creator, but also its champion for the past 3 events. However, this year Seif tells us why there will be a different champion crowned.
I retired, and then I thought about going back and forth on whether I should be Michael Jordan and just come back, or like Jay-Z and just say I'm retiring but not really retire. And I said I'm going to retire for the benefit of the Pac-Man tournament. So. All right.
For USF College Week,
Pac-Man rocks.
I'm Nick Poppins.
All was said and done and the last ghosts had been eaten, USF alum Jason Skinner took the tournament crown, defeating fellow alum Alex Heinert. Congrats, guys.
Well, that wraps up another edition of USF College Week. I'm Erin Heinert.
And I'm Jake Iverson, and for all of us here, we'd like to invite you to come out to the Jeske Fine Arts Center on December 13th for a student-made film, which we have the trailer for coming up right after this. Thanks for stopping by.
Lord, just help me find my future soulmate, Lord.
Kelly's plan. Go to a Christian college, meet up with a girl, fall in love, and get married before he graduates. That was his plan.
I just want to be friends.
Dude, you try too hard. Speaking of ice, you want to get some ice cream later?
Chicks dig guys that don't try.
She didn't even invite me.
What?
Yeah, her family did.
Kelly, pull over. I just want to be friends.
I'm starting to think she thinks I'm gay.
Dude, you're an awesome guy, but a lot of people think you're gay.
Hey, is Kelly gay?
Gay?
Gay? I know he's gay.
Isn't he a homo?
Nothing goes right for me anymore. I don't want to do anything.
Alright. Stop it! This soulmate crap has got to stop, alright?
On December 13th, meet the engaged friend.
Oh, you're playing more Kombat at Dan's?
Dude, she slept over twice already this week.
Okay, dude, so you're just gonna stay there tonight? You're not gonna be back to the dorm?
The married friend and his son. Just float on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go potty. And Gerald. And find out if Kelly ever meets that special someone.
I can go to church every Sunday or give up eating steak.
Or if he's left with just another potential soulmate.
Is Kelly gay?